like to really enjoy the games and stuff like that
Yep.
again because like in Disney, have you ever gone to Disney as an adult? It's not the same.
No, no.
But then when you have a kid and you're like able to be like, yeah, there's gonna be spaceships and we're gonna shoot the little rings and we're gonna,
Yeah,
it's gonna be Spider-Man. It's so much cooler
it is. Yeah,
to like
that's
get
true.
into that. I can't go to my boyfriend and be like, we're gonna go see Spider-Man. Like that's not it's not a
Yeah.
thing.
No. As adults, it's more of like, did you see Epcot's got the Food and Wine
Right.
Festival?
You can drink around the world there.
Venezuela's there. Welcome to the Life Well Lived, Paving Your Own Way to Growth podcast. I am your host, Justin Harris.
And I am your host, Gina Torres. And today we have some really great topics to discuss with you. But I have to give y'all an update because the quad is
Yes,
quadding again.
the quad is quadding. And I did have questions because I know the last time was not feeling too good. So was wondering if you've played anything, if you've done anything, have you been stretching, icing, rehabbing, all the above? What's going on with it?
Yeah, so I actually had a kickball game last night. We have one every Friday. It was supposed to be a doubleheader, but they ended up pulling the doubleheader from us. So it was just one game at 8 o'clock. And so, throughout the entire week, I mean, I was like drilling my poor quad. I mean, it's to the point of like, it was just, I mean, you name it, I was doing it because I was like, I didn't never thought that I was going to take kickball this seriously,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I am. I really am
yeah,
because I'm getting back into my competitive nature and I'm like, I got like I can't believe that destroyed me last week. And because I was on the field, Justin, and I was like, I could not run.
yeah. That's tough.
So throughout the entire week, I was doing a bunch of exercises to really kind of help strengthen
Hmm.
some band exercises to where you take the band and like you lift up your knee to kind of
Yeah,
strengthen like the quad going into the hip flexor and doing some leg extensions but very light, like just kind of really trying to get that back
yeah.
going again. And then on top of it, stretching, really making sure that I'm taking my breaks in between sitting for long periods of time, making sure
Mhm.
I'm walking, coming back and stretching and doing yoga and things like that. But you know how things happen and it kind of puts you back on course,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I was not doing any of that stuff and I was sitting for very long periods of time and like I just knew my hips were super um super tight. So of course I was gonna have something happen. But last night I got there and I was like looking at the field, I'm like, it's you and I.
Forget these other
But
people. It's us.
yeah, it was just like, but it was really good. So I prepared kind of the whole week and then I got there and I warmed up for literally 40 minutes. Doing like leg raises and
Yeah.
then I jogged a little bit and then it's getting colder. So like I really just learned it, last week just kind of really put me back on the course of like you need to make sure that you're warming up. You need to make sure that you're doing these things. It is getting colder. Your
Hmm.
body is, needs a little bit more love right now
Yeah.
before you can just get back into it like you were when you were 15, just being able to hop on the field and
Right.
swing for the fences.
Literally.
So,
Yeah,
so
literally.
it's good. It's better.
Good. Good. I mean, as it's really kind of going back to what you were saying. It's hard to not get back into that competitive mindset as former athletes. I haven't played a sport in it feels like ages, but I know that if I'm out there and I'm playing skee ball and the person next to me is listen, I'm looking at them. I'm like, okay, no, see, this isn't gonna happen. you know, I'm gonna get these points in this skee ball right now. So, like, even just little things like that. So, it's definitely And nowadays, I gotta even warm up for skee ball. I can't be throwing those. I can't be doing that to the shoulder. You know, you
Not
gotta
the
go.
Dave and Buster's warm up.
Yeah, you know the
You
arm
know
circles and everything.
they need a section just for us grown-ups at Dave and
Yeah,
Buster's to warm up
exactly.
before you start playing the games
Listen,
because I'm telling you.
if they have these games where you shoot basket, shoot the basketballs and skee ball and do all these things, even some ring tosses at carnivals, you got to kind of get the arm circles going. But like,
Oh no, you know the worst one is that freaking clown one that it has the little like the little clowns that you throw the ball at,
oh
the
yeah,
that like black ball.
oh
Because
yeah,
I go in when I'm going for murder.
yeah,
Like I'm throwing that ball as hard as I can
you have
because
to,
I'm trying to flip them down, you know? You know
yeah,
what I'm talking about?
yeah.
They got like the little fuzzy stuff on the
Hmm.
outside.
Yeah, just so enticing and just you're looking at like I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you. And then sometimes you just don't, so it frustrates you even more.
Yeah,
Oh,
because it's only like 5 feet away, but you're
yeah,
trying to like crank the shit out of
yeah.
the
And the guy
ball.
you're throwing the ball, and the guys are like, "Whoa, what the hell? Why are you throwing it
Yeah.
like that?"
Or the
Oh,
football one too. Ever
oh,
have the football one where
yeah,
it's like it has like the different sizes that you throw them into
yeah.
and you're just and
Just
I
swinging.
get so frustrated too because
Yeah,
I'm like I know I can do this. Why are you not why are
right.
you not going in right now?
Exactly. Gosh.
And I got like 10-year-old Henry looking at me like what the heck this girl? And then he comes over and he's just slamming them in and I'm like go get your mother.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? You try, and it reminds you of like how you probably felt when you were little, like just
Yeah. Watching some grown adult just
yeah,
like throw the ball as hard as they can, trying to
yeah,
hit these clowns down.
exactly, exactly. And
Oh
in the back of our
man.
minds, we're like, oh, they suck. And next thing, and here we are, like, and
Wait, we
now
are
we're
the
the
sucky adults. We are
yes,
the adults now.
yes,
Oh
yes, we
man.
are. That is now us.
This is a harsh realization right now. I
That
don't know. I
is,
might cry.
yeah. I mean, I can't even
Damn.
look at carnival games the same now. That's 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 what it's coming down to.
See, and this is why I feel like this is gonna sound kind of bad,
Okay, okay,
but I'm gonna go for it
yeah.
because sometimes I just feel like I need to borrow a kid. To really enjoy the games and stuff like that
Yep.
again because like in Disney like have you ever gone to Disney as an adult? It's not the same.
No, no.
But then when you have a kid and you're like able to be like, yeah, there's gonna be spaceships and we're gonna shoot the little rings and we're gonna,
Yeah,
it's gonna be Spider-Man. It's so much cooler
it is. Yeah,
to like
that's
get
true.
into that. I can't go to my boyfriend and be like, we're gonna go see Spider-Man. Like that's not it's not a
Yeah.
thing.
No. As adults, it's more of like, did you see Epcot's got the Food and Wine
Right.
Festival?
You know you can drink around the world there.
Venezuela's there this year. I think it's going to be great. We should go.
Yeah, so that's why I say sometimes you just need to borrow a kid,
Yeah.
like just and I don't really have any nieces or nephews who are like
Mhm.
young ages and things like that, but it's so cool to see their faces when you go to the rides or the carnivals
Yeah.
or like even places like Dave and Buster's because they just get so excited.
It is a satisfying feeling for sure to see kids like just to see that it's also like a how do I put it? It is nice to see kids enjoy actually being kids.
Yeah.
'Cause there's a
Hmm.
lot of kids that unfortunately just during different circumstances don't get to enjoy that. So like to
Yeah.
see them actually being a kid is very it's just like that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like that fulfills me too. Like
Mhm.
when I'm able to see that and experience that. And that's kind of why I'm like, can I borrow someone's kid? Not like
Yeah.
anybody's kid. I'm not like a weirdo, but like
Yeah.
if I like someone, that I know, they're
Right.
like 5 or 6 year old to be like, hey, can I take them to the that yeah, again, that sounds weird. I'm just gonna stop talking.
Yeah, you know.
Can,
You know.
can I take your kid to Dave and Buster's
Yeah.
today?
Which actually can kind of lead into our topic for this episode here
Oh yeah.
because for the topic for today is how to make and maintain friendships, not just in your 30s, but as adults. So the reason why I say that can lead into, because that can honestly be an effective tool there. Uh,
Oh, making
kind
new
of
friends at Dave and Buster's?
at Dave and Buster's. I'm
Is
not
that the
saying,
is that the new club? Is that the new 30-year-old club?
I mean, it
Dave
could
and
be. It could
Buster's.
be. Because then if if we can get a sign to say, 30 up club over here, and you just see a bunch of us stretching in the corner, we're making friends.
Listen, listen. I mean, that's an immediate friendship if you
Yeah.
ask me. If
Yeah.
somebody sees a 30, a 30 and up corner or a stretching corner in general,
Hmm.
and they go over to that without anybody bringing them there at their own will,
Yeah.
and they're going to stretch before they play games, you're already my friend.
Immediate.
Go ahead.
Immediate. And
Can I have your number?
yeah. And it's
We're
good,
gonna make
it's here's the thing about it. It's gonna be the stretching where you're stretching with the drink. You're just like, yeah, just getting ready for these games. Just which one you
Yep.
playing first? Hey, I'm Justin,
Yeah.
by the way. you know.
Justin, you got any kids?
Yeah.
Nope, I'm here by myself.
Yeah, I was hoping you did so we could go ahead and play some
Right?
games. You know.
Oh man.
Oh
No,
man.
I I think that all places like Dave and Buster's should have a stretch zone because
Yeah.
that would be an incredible place to make friends. I mean, imagine they just had a section where you literally went to warm up.
Hmm.
Like that is literally like that's the 30-year-old bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
That's the bar. That's it right there.
you every seat, there's a section where there is a bar, but every seat is a stretch partner. So before you get
Ooh.
a drink, you just have to do 30 seconds of stretching.
Ooh.
So I'm just saying, if you're gonna get out there and shoot some hoops, you're gonna have to stretch a little bit. We don't need no pulled hammies or quads
Yeah.
around here. Because
No.
don't they nowadays even have the games where you can like kick the soccer ball too, which is
Oh,
also a dangerous one.
yup. Sure do.
So like if they have all the
Sure
I say hi.
do.
I say high strenuous. I say high strenuous, even though kids go in there and they're just like, this is nothing. But to me,
Yeah, high strenuous to us. To anybody over, I'd say 27 at this point.
yeah, that's valid. That's valid, especially nowadays. I mean, I will say there's a lot of jobs out there that are very demanding on the body, and
Mhm.
it is a big thing with um, people get pretty complacent with just working. They'll wake up. Some people don't eat. Not gonna lie, I don't even eat. Like when I first get up in the morning, go to work, come home and just like are exhausted. So it's really tough to want
Yeah.
to even do anything.
Well, and and these games are not natural. Like, so even if you do have a strenuous job,
Yeah.
like your body starts to get used to that. If
Right.
you go and just randomly, you're not, I mean, there's not a lot of jobs I know where you just randomly like pull up and kick a soccer ball.
No. No.
Let's be real.
No.
So it's like it's again, like you said last episode, is taking the like we're now using muscles that we haven't used in
Mhm.
years, probably, and we're just trying to dive right in. And it's like that's not happening. That's not how our body works.
No. No, it's not. Even when we were in our best of shape to play a sport, we still didn't rush into it. I couldn't
Right.
even imagine throwing a baseball as hard as I could as soon as I stepped on the field. If somebody tried to tell me like, "Hey, throw this ball over that fence," right, without warming up, you're out of your mind.
Right.
Out of your
Well,
mind.
even last night, like when we were warming up,
Yeah.
okay, I had my whole team out there warming up.
Yeah.
And so
Good.
one of the things that I do is I practice even throwing, right? Like I do some
Hmm.
chest passes and I do overhand in case I have to do it because you
Yeah.
never know. So immediately when we get on the field, the guys like go like 100 feet away, and I'm like, what are you doing? Come here, 3 feet, 3 feet. We're
Yeah,
gonna
bring it
start with
in.
slow. We're gonna start really close, and then we build out. They're over here. I'm like, I ain't throwing that far. What are you doing?
See? Yeah. Like, listen, I already had two shoulder surgeries. I ain't trying to have another.
Did
I'm
you
not
really?
two. Yeah.
I didn't know you had shoulder surgery.
Yeah, I had two of them. The good old.
Damn. Was that from catching, or was it
I,
from like?
I'm not too sure. So I actually have the first surgery was because I had a bone spur, believe it or not, but because
Oh,
the
oh.
bone spur wasn't small and it was on my shoulder and it was like catching my shoulder, they couldn't go in just like arthroscopically with the small. So they did have to cut me open to get it out. But then they
Mm,
did notice that the way that one of my muscles is sits, I have a variant that is genetic. Fun fact: only about 1% of the population have it. It's called the Buford's complex. But the way that the ligaments in my labrum and in my shoulders are sitting, it's not flat how it's supposed to be. It actually is just like one chord. So it's just
mm.
already unstable. So then they tried to fix that the first time, and they moved my bicep tendon. They moved it down lower. So my bicep actually sits like lower on my arm than this one does.
Oh,
And
interesting.
yeah, and then it was literally a year later. I was just I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was from throwing. I don't know if it was from lifting in the gym, but I just woke up one day and my arm just dropped and I couldn't lift my
Damn.
arm. And then I just tore one of my rotator cuff muscles was torn. So
Ugh. And how old were you when you had that surgery?
I was, I'm not sure how. Oh, I want to say probably like early 20s. So
Oh,
like
damn.
I had to have been like 22. Well, when was this? It was 2011, 2011, 2012-ish. Well, however
Mm.
old I was then. I don't even know how old I was. 21.
So, no.
I mean,
In
20.
2011, I
Yeah.
was in 11th grade. You weren't 21. You were in 12th grade.
No, 2011. I graduated '09.
Oh, maybe you were 21
Yeah.
then. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always thought I first why did I think that you were one grade above me?
To be
Okay, so
honest, so
you
did I.
you graduated when I was a freshman.
Damn, for real? I guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah, you just turned 30. I am 33. So that I
Yeah.
am 3 years older
I
than
was
you.
in
Now I think
I was
about it.
in I was in ninth grade when
Yeah.
you graduated because my grades go by the year. So
Yeah.
2009 I was in ninth grade, 2010 I was in 10th grade and
Oh.
so on.
Oh
So
wow.
that's always how I remember
Yeah.
because if otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah. No.
I don't know how old I was, but I know what grade I was in.
That's all exactly. I just know that I graduated '09, and it was 2011 was my last college season that I was able to play. And then 2000, yeah. Wait, what? 2012. 2012,
12.
2013 is when I had the surgeries. It was
Okay, that makes sense.
2012 I played Twilight League. We won the World Series, and my last ever game playing baseball was the champion. It was the World Series game in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Well, that's a hell of a way to go out, though.
Yeah,
Shit. If you're
I
gonna go
for
out,
real,
that's the way to do
for
it.
real. So we did that. We won the World Series. First team in like upstate New York to do it, and like I forget how long, but because of that, they put our picture and our like accolades and in Cooperstown, and it was a whole big
Oh,
deal
nice.
for a
Did
while.
you
So
please tell me you went to Cooperstown after to like see it?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I had no choice. I had so many people hit me up. My grandmother was sitting there. I love her to death. She framed a picture of a picture. She took a picture of the display and then framed that picture.
Oh,
Picture. I was like, wow. I love
That's
it.
great. I feel like people don't do that stuff anymore,
No,
you know,
they
like
really go.
unless we're the ones that like are doing it and I'm just not young enough to notice it anymore.
For real. Oh my goodness. But
Yeah, I was with one of my friends from New York that we met here and
hmm,
he's 21 or 22. And he was asking me what like a phrase was the other day and I was like, "What do you mean? I'm hip. I know." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, I just said I'm hip."
oh, you said, oh, you actually said that out
I
loud.
said I'm hip.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I definitely did. So, which
Oh
makes me
man.
unhip, very much so unhip. So, yeah.
Uh, I don't know if I don't know if this is worse, but I did. Okay, I'm gonna tell a story. There's two people. I've this might sound crazy, but two people have called me girly pop, and I don't really understand how to take it. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Girly pop?
Listen, it's a new it's a new term that's I guess it's a new term. But
Oh, hang on. I gotta look this shit up.
yeah. Yeah, I guess it's a new term. But my girlfriend's niece.
Um, okay. Go ahead and finish with your story because I'm gonna tell you what girly pop means right after and let's see if it makes any sense.
uh oh my god.
Don't look it up.
Okay,
Don't look
okay,
it
okay,
up.
okay,
You
okay.
just gotta tell the story.
Okay. So oh man. Oh man, I don't know how. Okay. I feel nervous telling it now. Um my girlfriend's niece. She was talking to her and she was like, tell Justin I said what's up, girly pop. And I was like,
Oh no.
she called me Justin Girly Pop. So I was just like, okay, okay. I don't know what it means, but whatever. And then at work, now at our office, we hired not me personally, but the company. She's 18, literally just graduated like months ago. And the reason why I brought the story up is because she mentioned something, and I was like, I said, yeah, I know the lingo, and I immediately knew saying like I know the lingo, like yeah, to
Yeah.
say that it's like
Yep.
saying I'm hip, you know. So it's like that's where we're at. But anyway,
Okay.
she also every now and again will say girly pop, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? I don't even understand what this means. So let's hear it.
Justin, second, I'm on like percent, so I'm gonna go grab this, but can we pause it here real quick? I'm gonna grab
Yeah.
my charger and then I'm gonna let you know what girly pop means.
Yes. Intermission. We shall be right back.
So, girly pop,
Oh gosh.
there's a couple of different things here, but basically what Google is telling me, girly pop has multiple meanings, including a slang term for someone who is openly queer or effeminate, and a music genre that emphasizes female vocals.
Looks like I got some conversations to be had.
And how old is your girlfriend's niece, you said?
She's 14.
Oh,
She is 14. I've yet to meet her, but I will.
oh,
And
oh,
when I
but she's
do,
okay.
we will be having a convo.
But that's what happens with a lot of these like terms and
Yeah.
stuff with TikTok and people like because it's a fun term, but like
Yeah.
she's probably not saying nobody's saying it in the way that it's probably meant to be
No.
said, but it's just crazy how the internet makes things like that happen,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
it's a fun term to do, but it actually means like it's a feminine person.
Yeah. It's great. It's there's a lot of terms that just blow up that you hear. I'm not gonna be naming them because there's quite a bit that are just like, why? How does that even mean this? And I have to say it now. Glizzy, I don't understand how it means a hot dog. I never understood. I don't get it. But there's just certain terms that like what where do they even come from? Why?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
don't I don't know. I never got the glizzy thing. Was it like a video that happened or something?
I
I know
have
I'm hip, but apparently I'm not that hip anymore.
I thought I knew the lingo, but apparently I guess I don't. I don't know.
We don't
I
know
don't
the
really know
lingo,
where it came from.
Justin.
I don't have a clue where it came from. But that's why I'm just gonna stay in my lane with the adults and try to just maintain and make some new friends in that aspect. Which
Yeah.
I was like thinking about it, and honestly, I'm gonna be fully transparent. I do think this is a it's a good topic to talk about, but it's also tough because it's like uh, it's just hard nowadays. It really is,
Yeah.
and you got to think about it in the sense of like there's two different avenues. So I used to get pretty upset with like, well, why is like I haven't seen or talked with this person in a while. I don't understand. Why can't we just why can't what is going on? But it's like you have to understand what's going on not only in their lives but our lives. There's times where if I'm not busy, then they're busy, and
Hmm.
you can't be like, well, why are they busy? And you can't. It just doesn't happen. I think about it as in like, imagine parents, like if you're a full time mom or dad,
Mm.
how are you? I will never be like, why are you too busy, bro? I got kids. I have kids. Like, enough said. You got me
We
there.
think dogs and cats are bad. Shit, give me a
No,
human that I have to be
yeah,
responsible for. You can't just leave humans and leave,
I,
like you can the dogs.
I know. It's
You
gonna,
gotta take that, you gotta hike that
yeah,
baby up and take it with you. There's
yeah,
no more going real quick to go out to the store and I'll be right back. No, you have to
no,
take, and it's a process. I
yeah,
have my best friend has two kids now,
mhm,
and it's a process. You
yeah,
have to get the baby dress. You have to pack if they need stuff that you got to pack. You got to pack that. You got to get them in the car seat. You got to take them out of the car seat. You got to put
yeah.
them in the stroller, put them in the car, and like, and yeah,
And
I I can't imagine.
and there's one thing that I've I've even thought about as a parent. This is kind of like sidetracked, but if I had a kid and we were out and they started screaming, I'm
Oh,
sorry. Whatever I had in that cart that day is being left right there. And my shopping did not get done for what I needed at that moment. Only
yep,
because, like, one, I'm not going to sit there and be like, stop, stop. I'm going to be like, okay, I get you are not ready for the store today. And that would
yep.
be that. But I mean, obviously, everybody has different parenting. So,
So I also kind of entertain this thing that I heard the other day, and let me know your
oh,
perspective on it because I think it's super interesting that children, our children,
mhm,
are like a mirror of what we are going through.
mhm. I agree with that. I think we are all products of our environment. Is I will say that like children are sponges, and the I mean they have an innate like a natural way of potentially doing things if they were on their own, but at the same time, a child left alone just will not survive anyway. So they're going to need to have some a way to survive, and that's being taught how to do things. We're
Hmm.
not animals in the sense of we can be born and then the mom or dad just leaves. Like
Right.
we're literally not like that. So um, anything that we do, the I mean, not everything, but things that we do, the child will pick up. And
Mhm.
I my biggest thing with this is eating habits, eating,
Right.
and obviously like attitude and manners and different things like that. But a lot of people will say my kid's overweight, it's genetic, we run big in our family, we're all big bone. Well, that's not the case, to be honest. Like it's or I shouldn't even say like big, but more of like healthy. Like, oh, they're not healthy because we all
It
learn
runs
this
in the
way.
family,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And I really do not like that term, it runs in the family, because just like with even with our topic today, it ties in because there's stuff that we can all control.
Hmm.
Um, and like that's the most important thing, is realizing what we can control. Because I can't control if it's going to rain. Do I like
Right.
it if it rains? Actually, well, sometimes, yes, I do, but not all the time. You know what I mean? Or if it's perfect example, snow. I do not want it to snow. I don't want to see the snow. I don't care about this. I like it every now and again, but like that first snowfall, and then that's it. I'm done.
Yep.
If I wake up and I see slush, uh, you lost me. I'm moving. So, uh,
Ugh. Nasty, slushy, driving,
yeah,
getting
gotta snow.
out, stepping out, and like all of a sudden it's all slush. Ugh.
Yeah, up your
I know that
ankle.
it rain. I know that it snowed up in New York the other day, so that's why I'm like,
Did it
oof.
really? See?
Mm-hmm.
What? No.
Yep.
You wanna know why? Because we ain't there. So
Right. It was definitely cold yesterday, though. I will say it was a little chilly.
it
And it's
was.
a little chilly in the mornings now, and
Yeah,
at night.
yeah,
When again I'm playing my
yeah,
sports, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta stay. Gotta stay. Keep those muscles warm, I guess you could say.
yeah,
But yeah, I definitely do think we all have a choice. We all have to make sure to keep ourselves accountable by that choice. If I make a choice to not reach out to you, I can't get upset if you don't reach out to me,
yeah.
um, because
I just feel like it was so easy for like a lot of our parents to bring us around and like do things. And now it's just
yeah,
super hard. Like I don't know if it's obviously I know that everybody's busy, but even when they were adults and taking us around as kids, like they were busy
yeah,
too. So I guess I'm trying to figure out, how to kind of keep up on that and like make
yeah,
sure because it's a lot. Like even ta I know that a phone call or a text and stuff like that is simple, but sometimes you just get so caught up in day to day, it's like you forget and then you're like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, and then like you forget to
yeah.
where I actually have to remind myself to text people at this point
Hmm.
or to do things and stuff. And it kind of sucks because I don't want to have to. I want to have that
Yeah.
thought and then be able to be like, hey, Graham, hey, mom, hey,
Hmm.
whoever, just because I'm thinking about them. But sometimes I have the thought and then I have to actually set a reminder to like give them a call because
Yeah.
they'll pop in my head.
That's actually why I'm terrible with texting, and I actually got I was never a big fan of like smartwatches, the Apple Watch, a Samsung Watch, or whatever. But that was one of the efforts that I made for myself, because I will, especially with how I work, I'll set my phone down and I won't look at it. I won't touch it
Mhm.
for the whole day, just because I'm just doing things. So I got the watch so that I can see if I'm getting a text message or a call, and it helps for me to like to it doesn't, because like if I can see it in that moment and respond like very quickly, then that's where most of my success with reaching out or
Mhm.
talking with. If I don't respond to you within an hour or so, unfortunately,
It's gonna be a day.
it's gonna take some time. And that's just more of a like, I don't even really know why. I don't really know. I don't know if it's the anxiety of like because it was so long already,
Mhm.
or what.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And I feel like I got the Apple Watches and like things like that too. Especially when I was like working at TSA because we couldn't have our phones and I was
Yeah.
like just to make sure. So I kind of bought into the Apple Watch thing and now I'm at the point where my phone is on do not disturb all day
Mhm.
because I now get anxiety from all the text messages and all the emails and
Yeah.
everything that I get. So I literally have to, and it's kind of screwed me a little bit, right? Because I'll not get emails that come straight to my phone or like things that are like bills or important stuff,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Text messages and things I can always read later, or I'll like look at my phone if I'm on break or something like that. But they just kind of come in one after the other because you'll have TikTok, you'll have an Instagram notification, you'll have Facebook, you'll have an email, you'll have a phone call, you'll have a
Yeah.
text message. And to me, that I found is like an energy suck
Hmm.
when I am constantly being like fed these notifications rather than me to be able to put it on do not disturb, focus on my client, focus on my work, focus on what I'm getting done at that point. And it's definitely helped me a lot
Hmm.
because I really found myself just constantly looking at my phone, constantly, every time it went off, constant.
Yeah.
So now I just put it on do not disturb. And some of my, so when people call me, they're like, like, when can I call you? Because your phone is literally always on do not disturb. So
Yeah.
every time somebody tries to call me now, because I don't really take it off, like, because
Yeah.
then once I get into bed or once I'm, at the gym, I don't want people text me. I don't want to be interrupted by that
Right.
stuff. So I just tell people at this point, like, when I see it, I'll call you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it kind of is like it is like a catch 22, I guess, because on one end I'm like, well, people call me because they want to check in or call
Hmm.
me about something, and then it's like if I try to call them back at night, then they're unavailable or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's a weird, but that's literally how I have to get through my day
Yeah.
at this point.
I actually, speaking of, like you mentioned, like the anxieties of getting all those calls, the big thing for me is I'm nervous that if I respond to a text, that they're gonna want to call me. And depending on what I'm doing, like I'm just not in the space to be able to answer the call. To where like
Hmm.
if I sent this text message right now and then they called, well, you just text me back. Why can't you call me? Is what goes through my head. And I'm like,
Gotcha.
I'm busy, but you weren't busy enough to not answer my text
Right.
message. So it's like I get and I don't want to be rude because then I don't want to sit there and ignore their call. And they know, like, he just answered me and he just ignored my call. I know he's there,
Yeah.
and it's nothing against the person texting or whatever the case is, which just freaking reminded me. I know my grandmother definitely texted me and I got to text her, but this was a couple days. I got to text her back.
Your
Um,
grandma texts you? See, I don't. My grandma's like, what the heck is this thing?
yeah,
She,
no, she'll text me. She definitely will text me. Um, just even like in that even family and that's where even making friends is. I don't want friends to think that I don't care about them, but I'm the same way with family too. It's nothing against them, but
yeah.
me, my dad, my mom, my grandmother, it's we don't talk constantly all the time, and it's just because we all have lives and we're all busy, and that's just something that as time went on we were more understanding of it, but we do understand.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. And I think sometimes I put so much like pressure on it too because I'll be like, why is this like why aren't they texting me? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, because I don't text either,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But at what point is it not okay to kind of rely on the term I'm too busy, like people are too busy? Because I think that people make time for the things that they want to.
Hmm.
And if friendships or if, family or something like that is a priority for you, then I believe that you should make time for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all it's that's a great way to put it. There was a phrase I can't quite remember, but a good friend of mine, like when I was in chiropractic school, he would say that it's not that you're too busy, it's that it's not a priority, which is
Mm,
tough to hear, especially if it's like, man, you're telling me it's not a priority that I, talked to my mom today. Like that just sounds bad, but
yeah.
I don't think it's meant in that way to where like, oh, my mom's not a priority. It's not what we're saying. It's more of just like that what you had to do that day. But then again, you can't always everybody at the end of the day, everybody has the same amount of time in a day, no
Mhm.
matter what. There's not
Right.
25, you can't make an extra hour. you know. So like it's just about prioritizing that time and even setting like 10:30 today for 5 minutes. I have to schedule a call for 5 minutes to talk to whoever. Might just have to be done if that's your true goal. If you really need to talk with that person, or if you really want to catch up, schedule the time to catch up.
Yeah.
Make it a priority because then after that, after you keep making a priority, then it'll become a habit, and then you won't have to worry about it.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree. I think anything that's important, it goes in my calendar
Mm-hmm.
because if it's not in my calendar, it's not happening because my calendar is literally booked from the time that I get up at 4:30 in the morning to wake up, be grateful, to meditate, to,
Yeah.
do my entire morning routine, go to the gym, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to work and then my phone is still on do not disturb. And then
Yeah.
in going through client meetings and having to get work done and having timelines. And then now after, if I want to play sports or if I want to, rest or whatever it is, it has to be my calendar or else it literally isn't happening. And I even book like this is your time to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because then I know, okay, there's no bounds. Like I don't have to think about anything. If I want to go to the store, I can go to the store. If
Mm-hmm.
like that means that there's nothing on my list at that
Yeah.
point and I can kind of fully just be present in the moment. As I feel like a lot of my job is always thinking forward, so it's very difficult for me to kind of be present. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to actually schedule that time
Yeah.
to literally say, hey, you can literally do nothing at this time. If you want to binge watch a show, you can binge watch a show. If you want to go for a drive, if you want to go to the mall, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I always am dealing with timelines and restrictions and like
Yeah.
deadlines for things. And, so being present is I'm working at that, but I kind of have to schedule that in my calendar.
Yeah. And that comes to a point of like this is why it is also, I don't want to say it's the most it's important, but it is a great idea to join different clubs and different teams and different things like that. Because if, for example, you playing kickball, you joined that, you made that commitment, so it is a priority. But in
Hmm.
that, you're also getting out, you're meeting new people, you're playing, so you are meeting people and that and creating friends. So if you join, let's say, for example, I don't know if you heard of Cooper's Hawk, but they have these certain events. It's like a it's a nice place. I enjoy it. It's in Tampa. Um,
Okay.
so and they have
I'll have to
this
check it
wine club, and you like get one bottle of wine a month if you join this club and other amenities, and you're also invited to a like dinners once a month.
out.
Um, it's pretty neat. So I've done three of them, and the very first one I get there, we meet this other couple. Me and my girlfriend, we met this other couple. Ironically enough, I'm not gonna say any. I don't know if he's got. He didn't give me any consent to say his name, so I'm not gonna say his name or anything. But
Yeah, don't put him in a spot.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
might even not even be his real girlfriend.
yeah, yeah. So, so, and then after that, we were like, "Are you going to the next one?" Because we were just chatting for the whole couple hours, and then we literally have seen them at the next three ones that we went to. We sat at
Oh,
the
cool.
same table, and now we're friends. So we just made a
Yeah.
friend from this event that I almost didn't go to because I heard that it was like we had to sit with other people as we didn't have our own seat. You're just put at a table,
Gotcha.
and I was like, I don't know. And imagine if I didn't. Now I would have lost out on a cool friendship. So
Yeah, no, that's cool. You're gonna have to give me that information
yeah,
because next time you go, let us know because we'll join you and then
yeah,
we can broaden our friend group.
yeah, exactly. I think that would be like it's so little things like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you
But
can
things that
tell,
happen like organically because you can't really force a friendship or you
right?
can't force someone to like you or for you to like somebody.
Nope.
So things that happen organic like that are are really the best. You have a shared interest because you guys are both there. Either
Yep.
you probably like wine or
Mm-hmm.
whatever else the amenities are. So you have that shared interest of
Yeah.
something that you can actually talk about. And then, okay, you guys are here at the same time, same place. And then it kind of just opens you up for that opportunity to see if it is a good fit. It's like dating,
Yeah.
but for
Yeah.
friends.
Speed friend dating. Speed
Yeah.
friend, except yeah, like
Speed friending. Speed friending, is that it?
befriending. Yeah. Yeah.
Speed friending. It's like
Speed
going
friending.
and yeah.
There it is. Speed friending. I mean, that's a cool yeah. That's essentially what I mean. I mean, we weren't jumping table to table, but like sitting at a table, it is that first initial awkwardness of like you sit down, you know, sort
And
of
like,
just kind of,
hey.
yeah. Hey
And like
guys.
you still talk to like your just only your girlfriend, like
Yeah.
even though that there's like people on both sides, you're like, so
Yeah.
do you like to
Exactly.
wine?
Yeah, exactly. And it was interesting to see. I'm an observer, so there's a point where I just sat back. We're in a big room with just a bunch of people. So I'm just looking at the different tables. I'm looking in my head, I'm like, these people are really chatting it up. I feel like that whole table knows each other. But then you see tables where there's just people sitting there on their phones by themselves, and you're like, well, man.
Hmm.
And I feel like, yes, you might not have anything in common, maybe, and that's probably why, but like you still, unless you make some sort of effort, is my thing. Like you still got to make an effort, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. You move on to the next. But
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things to do to build new friends is to overhear someone's conversation and then be
mm,
like, "Hey, I heard you said that you're from New York. So are we."
yeah,
And like that's like the conversation weave. That's actually what happened with my friends here in Florida.
yeah,
They were talking, we were all at the pool and they ended up were talking to people who they met here and talking about like the I think it was the barbershop.
yeah,
Like they were talking about a local barbershop because he needed to find somewhere. He's from New York. He needed to find somewhere to cut his hair. And
yeah,
I was like, Mike, they're talking about a barber and he's also from New York. We got to go over there and talk to him.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, that's a double whammy. We have to go. We have
Hmm.
to go there. So he literally, I was like, I'm going. And he's like, oh man. So I just like go over to him and
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, we overheard, my boyfriends were new here. We're from New York. He's also looking for a barber. And then like that's kind of how our friendship
Oh,
started.
yeah,
But it
yeah.
was it was just funny because I'm like, we're sitting at the other side of the pool and I'm like trying to talk to him. I'm like, I'm gonna fakely talk to you right now because I'm eavesdropping on their conversation. I'm waiting for the right moment to go
Yeah.
over there. And as soon as I saw the opportunity, I was like, yep, we're going. So we
Yeah.
just like swam over the other side.
Just
Like
what?
Jaws, like we're just coming
Hey
into their
guys,
conversation.
we actually
Hey,
just overheard. We wanted to come.
oh man. But like otherwise, and I know that we talk now as a group and like other people overhear our conversations and stuff and they
Yeah,
just like keep their side thing. But I know that they're listening to us. And I
yeah.
know I know that because I do it.
Yes, yes. Don't let it fool you. I've eavesdropped on many conversations that people probably don't know about, and you're just listening and just like, oh, they just said that.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
ooh.
no, yep.
But
Except,
that is definitely a part of how like I kind of see people's energy and see if like they're friend worthy,
right?
right? If I were to go over there and they would have been like kick rocks, I would have been
Yeah,
like, okay, well these guys aren't the people for me. Or
exactly.
if they were like, oh, you're from New York, like immediately, okay, cool. No,
Yeah,
that's a no.
yeah.
But because they were receptive and like open to now
Con
conversing,
conversing. They're open to the,
conversing
yeah, yeah. Open to the
words.
combo.
Yep, they're open, whatever the term.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, and then it kind of just built from there,
mm,
and then it became we now like Fridays were pool days, and then okay, hey, let's go to dinner one night.
yeah.
Okay, hey, this thing's happening in Tampa. Let's go. Do you guys want to go? Or
Hmm.
one of them has a boat. Hey, do you guys want to go on the boat? And kind of just
Yeah,
like built out organically. But I feel like it has to happen, whatever friendship uh or relationship that you have, it has to be organic. It can't be
yeah.
forced. You
Right.
can't be the only one putting in effort. They
Hmm.
can't be the only one putting in effort. It has to be, think of it as a mutual exchange of energy.
Right.
And I think that this is in everything that this should be kind of taken into consideration in anything that any of us do. Anything that gives or takes your time is also energy. So make sure that energy exchange is mutually
Right.
received and beneficial.
Hmm. Exactly. And I would say like if we had to recap, I know we were conversating about a lot of our experiences. Um
Conversating.
Conversating.
No, you said
What did I say?
conversating. I thought you said it was conversing.
We were just having a good old chat.
You're having a convo.
Having a good old chat about a lot of our experiences. Um, so what would you say would be like your key takeaway for like how to make and maintain new friendships?
Yeah. No, and thank you for recapping because I know we always go off on our little tangents.
Yeah,
But I think that especially when you get into like your late 20s, I mean even after I'd say any point after high school,
yeah,
it's going to be hard
yeah.
for you to find friends because like it just kind of is.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that you have to do things that you enjoy, and the people who also enjoy them will, then be around you, and those are going to be opportunities.
Right.
So things like for me, is going to be sports leagues, is going to be like networking events, is
Yeah,
going to be places where spirituality or energy is like kind of put as a priority.
yeah,
Those are the things, the events, the things that I want to take part in. And then I think that, people who are also interested in the same things are also going to be there. So it opens you up to these opportunities. But I think just like anything is putting yourself and your hobbies and your passions and stuff first, and then you will kind of open yourself up to meeting the people who are supposed to be in your life.
exactly.
And then maintaining them is also on you, right? If you make it a priority to where you enjoy hanging out with this person
Hmm.
or people, group of people, and you probably will because they're going to be attached to that same passion or that same hobby or something that you are, right? So
Yeah,
that's kind of your entryway. And then I would say you already know some of their likes. So then you can be like, hey, let's go to if you just got done at a league, hey, are you gonna be in, next year's league, or are you gonna be
right.
in, are you doing any other sports the next season or whatever? And kind
Yeah,
of opening up those conversations to something that you already know.
yeah,
And yeah, I think that that's like my main takeaway
mhm,
is putting yourself first, doing the things that you like and love and are passionate about,
yeah,
and then you open yourself up to those opportunities and those people who are also in it to win it.
yeah. Exactly. I know. For me, I'm in the same boat as far as the same key takeaway. I would say organically is obviously I would say the best way by doing that event or doing that signing up for that league or the something that you really enjoy. It's going to be really hard for you to if you're trying something new that you don't like because that person is doing that whatever that event is because they probably like it. And if you don't like it, but they do, that type of friendship is just tough. So doing something that you enjoy, coming together. But then I do think like even kind of pushing past your comfort zone a little bit. For example, you can do these events and it's really nice. You can do them monthly, but then one time just step out your comfort zone a little bit. Be like, hey, next month I can't. I'm not going to be able to go to the event next month, but how about instead of that, let's go get brunch or something on one of the weekends.
Yeah.
And then boom, you can build friendships from there because now instead of just being like, oh, this is my wine tasting buddy, now it's like, oh, we're actually friends, we're doing things. So um it's doing something you like, sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone. And I would also say just everyone is busy. Everyone doesn't have time. But if you want it to happen, if you want to make it a priority, then you can find the time. Even as a parent, I know like we mentioned before, it's tough to really find the time, but join join a parenting group to where like now this is something that you do for your child, but now you're meeting friends there because now you meet the mom or the dad of the other child to where now you go to these events and now you become friendships and now your kids are friends, so
Yeah.
there's
Or even
ways.
like sports leagues and stuff like that. Like I know my best friend takes her son to gymnastics and
Yeah.
they're all the moms are kind of there and they talk while their kids are doing gymnastics
Hmm.
and any sports and stuff. I do also want to add because I heard about this the other day is that Bumble actually has a friend dating
Hmm.
like thing
Hmm.
on their app. So
Interesting.
Bumble is like the girl talks to the guy first or whatever dating
Okay.
app, but apparently they have a section on there that's like for friends and meeting new friends.
Okay. So
So I haven't tried it, so I can't attest to it,
yeah.
but if you're somebody who would rather like see do something like that,
Yeah.
that's an opportunity. But I will warn you, you're probably going to be even more judgmental on your friends than you are
Yeah.
a guy that you date because you will give guys or girls excuses,
Mhm.
maybe. Friends, you're like, oh, they like da da da. I can't be friends with them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they like peppermint tea. Nah,
Ugh,
not for
yeah,
me.
now. So just as a little additional, again, I haven't tried it, but
Yeah.
since we're talking about different ways that you could potentially make friends, that is something that I've also heard of. Um, and I don't know how it would work, but again, if that's like if you're maybe introverted and don't necessarily like being around a lot of people, then that might be a good space for you to find someone who's also introverted and likes like gaming or
Yeah.
being online. Like if that's kind of how you want to build out your friend, then cool.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So I just wanted to say, thank you to everybody listening out there because this was one of those topics that actually did challenge me. I was very this because I struggle with it. And this is a topic that we did get from you guys, from the listeners. So
Mhm.
that is something that we do encourage and we really do take into account of what you guys are saying. Because this episode was solely a topic that came from you. So we really appreciate you. We're really looking forward to the next topics. So please feel free to message us, send us an email, send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, at the Life Well Lived podcast to keep giving us these inspirations for these next episodes because we would like to keep providing for you and going on topics that you would enjoy as well.
Absolutely. And this is always, as always, a Gina and Justin perspective.
Yes.
This is just how we interpret the way that we would do things,
Mhm.
and we realize that it's not going to be for everybody, but the people that it is for, we want to continue serving you and
Yes.
giving you our perspectives and just having a fun, good time. So anything that you ever need, please reach out to us. You can also reach us at the Life Well Live podcast at gmail.com if you do have any of those topics.
Yeah.
Real quick before we head off, I do want to just recap on our 6 month letter. Now, Justin, I
Yes.
don't know if you wrote it, but I wrote mine.
It's written. It's
And
written.
and so if you haven't listened to last week's podcast, highly encourage you because it was a good one.
It was
And
we liked it.
what we're our challenge of what we're doing is we're going to challenge all of our listeners, whoever wants to participate, to write a letter to their future selves. And in 6 months, we're going to open the letter. Justin and I are going to read our letters
Mm-hmm.
right on the podcast for
Yep.
you so that you can kind of see and time hop with us of where we currently are and then our our vision or any goals that we want to hit in the next 6 months. So this is going to give everybody a fresh start to the new year. It's going to
Yes.
give people an opportunity to look back on all they've accomplished in these last 6 months and just really be in a space with yourself that you can see growth.
Mhm.
And that's what we're all about here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Growing. Um, I'm excited for it just because I'm not going to remember in 6 months what I wrote now,
Yeah.
and it'll be a nice to reflect and to see what we say. So I'm excited, and I hope we get the chance to hear all of your letters that you wrote to yourself. I think that would be great. If you do write one and you want to share, please let us know. We'll get you on so that you can share as well.
Yeah.
And then one last thing from me before we let you guys go for the day is it is Monday the 25th when you will be hearing this. Um, and then this Thursday is Thanksgiving. So
Yes.
for me, I just want to say that I'm thankful for each and every one of you. I'm thankful for the friendships that have come from this podcast, the friendships that have come from just just really diving deep and really trying to understand myself because I've gained some friends along the way doing that. So I appreciate you and happy Thanksgiving to you from me.
Yeah, and Sam, I'd like to mirror everything that Justin just said and also add on that I'm thankful for both of our courages
Mhm.
and the opportunity to even have a platform like this where we can literally just talk and share our experience and be a resource and build a community. So I am thankful for all of that as well, and wishing each and every one of you health and some healing and just some really good, impactful, memorable times this holiday season.
Yeah.
Treat it like it's your last, even though it's not going to be, but just treat it like, it really is. Enjoy every moment of it, soak in
Yes.
everything with everybody who you're with, and really just take it all in. Be present in the moment
Mhm.
because you literally are not going to get this moment again.
Yes. Absolutely.
Again, not the Thanksgiving one. I don't want to, I'm not trying to scare anybody for that, but this present moment that
Yes.
you're in, just make sure that you are enjoying it and you are present. Put down your phone, put
Mhm.
down any distraction. Really, just if you have, children, if you're around family, just be with them and really
Yeah.
appreciate the space that you're in
Exactly.
because the holidays can be rough, but they can also be beautiful.
Mhm.
So just make some amazing memories and be fully present.
Yes, absolutely. And as always, we appreciate you guys. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us at Facebook, at Instagram, at the Life Well Lived Podcast. Feel free to email us at the Life Well Lived Podcast at gmail.com. We are looking forward to seeing you on the next one and have a great rest of your day.
Bye, guys.